Let's start. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for actually accepting my offer to talk about this very sensitive topic. A topic that people actually, when they hear about it, they'll be like, "Ugh, let's not talk about that." But thank you for accepting my offer to actually talk about it.
Not a problem. You're welcome.
Okay. So the first question: what is consent to you? Like when people talk about consent, generally, what do you think consent is?
Getting permission, basically.
Okay.
Consent is getting permission for a request.
Okay. I want to know too. Do you think we should have a lot of conversation around sexual assault more often, and what consent means generally?
Yes, definitely. Because, like, especially in our society, Nigeria, for example,
Okay.
the whole understanding on consent is close to none. A lot of people don't understand what consent is. A lot of people don't understand what it is. So definitely, there need there's need for a lot of conversation on that topic,
Okay.
especially for that is coming now, our growing youth. So yeah.
So I want to ask these three questions to kickstart the whole interview. So the first one is: can someone give consent to sex, even if they are drunk?
No, if the person can't give consent because the person is intoxicated, the person is not in the right. So definitely that's not consent.
Okay. So the second one is: if someone is repeatedly pestered for sex or nude and eventually gives in and say yes, does that count as consenting?
Repeatedly pestered but not threatened.
No, repeatedly pestered. So the person eventually gives in.
Well, for me, it doesn't count as consent because if someone is coerced or forced into making a decision initially didn't want to make, especially with regards to sex, consent
Okay,
because
so
the person was forced.
let me create this scenario. The group of boys like this lifeguard. So what one of them did was he jumped into the pool knowing that the lifeguard, the lady, will save him. So when he jumped
Mhm.
into the pool, the lady came, saved him, then started giving him CPR, and he grabs the lady by the hair and started kissing her. So after the whole incident, the group of guys were like, "Wow, what he did was very sneaky and stuff." And but that was actually very brave. That was cool. So what do you say about that kind of situation, that kind of scenario?
That's he didn't get consent to kiss the lady, so that's definitely disgusting. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. So let's talk about this the whole Me Too movement. How Me Too movement has actually helped uh, in talking about sexual consent. And for viewers who don't know what Me Too movement, it was started by a lady, actually a black woman, who was sexually assaulted in a place of work by a very powerful person, and she talked about her experience with the hashtag MeToo, which was in 2006. So she urged other women to actually come out and speak against these high-profile people. That's what MeToo is about, and you can check on it. I will put what it's about there, so you can check on it. So, Ivy, what do you think about the whole MeToo movement, and do you think it's actually helped in talking about what sexual assault, what consent is generally?
Definitely, it has helped a lot. If you look at times now, more comfortable to speak up about their sexual assault experience. Survivors are able to get more support now from people because of the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement have created a platform for people to be able to come out and expose even people in power, people that have money that will normally be hidden. Do you understand? They've been able to create a platform, a situation whereby victims and survivors can get justice and get help and have a voice and have their voice heard. So, of course, they are doing a great job.
Okay.
The whole idea was fantastic.
Okay. So let's talk about people, the whole sexual assaults generally. People generally think when we are talking about sexual assault or rape is when a boy pins down a girl or forcefully puts himself on a girl. So let's talk about situation in which maybe a lady is walking and a guy just grabs her breast or grabs her ass and the other people start laughing and he runs away and things like that, occasions like that, things that people don't see as assault or rape unless someone actually grabs the lady or forcefully put himself on this thing. So let's talk about situations like that, situations in which a lady is constantly slut shamed for things that she's doing. Let's talk about that.
I will start by saying, like, there's something called rape culture, and rape culture is being fueled by misogyny that has caused a lot of ignorance around the whole topic on people's bodies, respecting people's choices to say yes, no. Now, the whole idea of if a woman is dressed a certain way, she's probably doing it to attract men or is automatically asking for harassment or assault. Idea is being fueled by real culture. The whole traditionally or normally how the society sees women, like they don't give women are not, how will I explain? Women are not allowed the right to their bodies, and women's bodies are not respected. The whole idea of a woman owning her body and doing whatever she wants with it without it having to do with trying to get the attention of a man is not understood. And I feel like that should be broadcasted and shouted and screamed into people's that a woman's body is for her and hers alone, and that whole entitlement towards women's body should just die out because it's extremely disgusting. Someone should be able to walk on the street without being having the fear of being catcalled, because that is also harassment. Catcalling somebody on the street,
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm going to
groped,
talk about.
yeah, or being grabbed or groped or cornered. All that bullshit needs to end because it's disgusting and it all falls under sexual harassment. It doesn't. You don't need to be in a room and pinned. Nah. Even in situations where, like, what will I say now? Which example will I give? You're in a date with somebody, that is not green light still. Because that is not still excuse or anything for anybody. If someone agrees to go out with you, or if someone agrees to come see you, if you're on a date with somebody and there's something that people say signal, you're reading signal, then you just go in to kiss the person. If you're on a date with somebody that you like and the person likes you back and you want to kiss the person, you ask. Some people say, oh, that's not cool, that's boring, that's your business. Jail is still not boring. So you could get locked up for sexual harassment. It's true. So if you're on a date with somebody, you're getting the vibes under the cool lights. I don't know how you guys do it, the low light in the restaurant. You lean in. Can I kiss you? Simple and short. Don't go and bring your dirty lips and be putting it on somebody like nah.
So let's talk about the stigma about around the whole situation when someone comes forward that he or she was sexually assaulted. There's this stigma that comes with it, and the whole silencing of the situation when people just want to tell the person that you should keep quiet or should shut up or he should not say about it that is something traumatic. Is he or she should not talk about things like that. What do you think about the silence culture and the whole stigma around sexual assault?
That is one thing that I just haven't been able to get my head around. The whole idea of someone was obviously like the person was wronged, and then you're coming and say, "What was she doing there? What was she wearing?" Like, how does that just? It all boils down to sex education. People are not sexually educated. Are not educated. People are incredibly ignorant, and culture plays a lot to this bullshit. So, uh, I'm losing my train of thought now. Oh my god. So, with regards to shaming the victims and shaming survivors for coming to speak up, it's bullshit. Uh, the people or the person that should be shamed are the perpetrators. The people that just imagine now you're in your house, and number comes to rob you.
Yeah,
Then people now come and start saying,
I always
why do you open your door?
I always use that
Why?
illustration too. I always use that illustration too.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. You're on your own in your house. Somebody comes and robs you, or even you're not even in your house. You're on the street. Somebody picks your pocket. Would they say, "Why did you wear pockets? Why did you wear trousers that has pockets?" It's dumb. So why is that logic now? Why does this seem to make sense to people when it comes to situations of sexual assault? It doesn't make any sense. It's wickedness, pure wickedness.
Okay.
And also with regards, to speaking up, it doesn't have to be going through going through that incident of sexual assault is extremely traumatic. Some people cannot bring themselves to happen to them. It's like it's a whole traumatic experience. So there are a lot of people that like to say, "Why didn't you speak things? Why didn't you come since?" But people, they are not the people that they are not the evil people. They are not the perpetrators. All those your expectations don't apply to them. They are the people that have been hurt. They can speak up anytime they want to speak up. However, they want to heal, however they want to process it, they should be allowed to. Don't come and be saying, why didn't you come since? Why is it all that nonsense? Please cut it. Cut it. It's all bullshit.
okay.
Bullshit.
So the if you've seen this movie Sex Education, there was one of the one powerful episode I actually watched in that series of where the girls were actually put in a place and the teacher told them to actually come up with something that they are very similar, there was a similar experience or something that they actually like, and all everybody brought up different ideas. They talk about flowers, and the girls were like, "No, I don't." Someone said like, "No, I don't like flowers." And that person brought chocolate, and like, "No." But one of the main issue, one of the things that actually brought all of them together was the issue of sex assault, of how a girl that just came out from the bus or train and was groped by a guy, and the guy ran, and other people were laughing, and other people brought up their topic of how the girl was in a bus and the guy jizzed on her or was masturbating and they were looking at her and did all those nasty things, and other people talked about their experience too of how a girl was being laughed at because of what she was wearing by other guys, and because of that she actually took that cloth and cut it to actually be more to show more skin and things like that. So that was one of the like very powerful episode in that series, Sex Education, and it talked a lot about that scene. So I want you to actually educate our viewers, like what do you think like some of the solutions or conversations that people actually should have about sexual assault?
I think it should start from that people's bodies belong to them. There
Okay.
should be a conversation around people's respecting people's autonomy, people's rights over their bodies. That's a very important conversation that, and it should start from growing kids. consent consent doesn't only have to do with sex, because when it comes to choice of when it comes to choice and saying yes or no to what you want, it doesn't always, it's not just all about sex. It's all about everything in life. What you want to wear, what you want to do with your hair, what you want to eat, what you want to drink, where you want to go to. And if people understand that everybody, every individual human being have their own choice, have their own choices in life, that to an extent respected, we can start from there. Consent is not just all about sex. If you're in a party and your friend says no, she doesn't drink. You know, yeah, sometimes when you go to party and then you see somebody doesn't want to drink and they'll be like, take some more now, or do this one now. She doesn't drink or he doesn't drink. You respect their choice. If
Yes.
somebody, if you ask somebody, do you want this? They say no. No is what?
No.
No. Silence is also not yes. If the
Yes.
person doesn't yes or nods in agreement, it is not consent. It is not a yes. It is a no. Come on. So needs to start from respecting people's rights, respecting people's bodies, respecting people's bodies. You see someone dressed, even if you don't like the way the person is dressed, it's not your business. You didn't buy that. You're not paying the person's salary. Even if you did, it's still not your business. Even if you did, respecting people's bodies, what they choose to do with their bodies is not your business. They're not doing it for you. They're not doing it to, if they didn't tell you, they're not doing it for you. They're not doing it to attract you. If they didn't tell you that, then it's not you. It's not about you. People's bodies, people's lives, it's not about you. So you need to go. You see a fine girl that you like, she's not, it's not her fault that you like her. Okay, respect it. If you can use your mouth to communicate your intentions, if she doesn't want, if he doesn't want, you go your way, not by force. Okay, that conversation needs to be had, and it needs to be had. It's a serious conversation. The way things are happening is like, it's like terrible. I'm sure you see also that a lot of people have no idea with regards to this topic, understanding the gravity of harassing people. Some people don't even know what harassment is. Honestly, some people don't know that catcalling somebody. You see somebody you don't know on the street, you're doing yes. You don't know some people don't know that's harassment. That nonsense. Please stop it.
Yeah, one of my cousin who is 14 years old came one time and just told me that there was this old man that was just calling her like that. Like I felt disgusted by that actually. This thing said that the man was calling her, right, and it was not as if he was doing a come and things like that. So people don't know all these things are actually assault, harassment, and things like that. So let's talk about guys who have been assaulted or who have been assaulted, but they can't speak up because they feel they will be referred to as less of a guy or things like for example, now let me give you a situation in which a guy was at a party and these two girls walked up to him and they told him that they want to have sex with him and he said no. So the girls told him that if he doesn't do it, they will tell the whole party or the whole department, or they call it, that the guy can't have sex with women, that is not man enough, is a flake. And you hear situations of like this in offices where a very attractive man is working in an office and a powerful boss or a lady who is very powerful wants to have sex with him and he refuses, and she tells him that if he doesn't do it, he's not going to it's not as if she would tell him that he's not going to be promoted, but you know that there are certain situations around it where he won't be promoted or and things like that would be very hard in that environment. And the guy can't speak about it because he feels uh, the other guys be like, just do it. Is it not? Are you not a man? Can't you do something like that? And a lot of guys can't actually come out that I'm being sexually assaulted, or because they don't want to be seen as a weak person. So what do you say about that?
It's it's still in that kind of situation is not harassment, and the same terms and conditions applies across all genders, regardless. Sexual harassment is sexual harassment, and that is still. And if you're going through a situation like that, you should report. It doesn't make you less. It doesn't. It just makes you brave, and the right thing to do. Thinking that speaking up about your sexual assault makes you less of a man and all that is all the whole agenda of men cannot be raped, only women are weak, men are strong, all that nonsense mindset.
Yeah,
Crap. Men do get sexually harassed, and if it happens to you, you should speak up. You are not in any position to take up blame or take up shame some for being abused. That's bullshit. So doesn't make you less, doesn't make you anything. You really need to understand that one that should carry the shame for your abuser. That is not your work to do. You don't have, you shouldn't, you don't have to do that. It's not your shame to carry. You shouldn't be ashamed of saying no. If you don't want to, you don't want to. If they want to go and tell the whole world that, go, I don't want. And report, if in a situation where like you can report and get report to appropriate authorities, that's sexual harassment.
yeah.
It doesn't make you less at all.
So let's talk about Nigeria as a whole, where sex education is not even a topic or a thing that people talk about. It's not even a course or a subject that in schools. And a lot of girls and boys nowadays don't know what sexual assault is, and schools are not actually helping because they believe children are not to be taught about sex, and these are people that actually grow up to become sex offenders and assaulters and things like that. So what do you say about schools uh, implementing sex education in their curriculum?
In Nigeria, sex education should be implemented in school curriculum. But let's be honest, the teaching. Who is going to do the teaching? Is it Nigerian adults that feel like if you wear spaghetti, you are a prostitute? Because even the adults, even the teachers, they too, they need the sex education. So
Yeah.
who is going to? The thing is just tiring.
Okay. So
It's definitely well. There are definitely organizations like Stand to End Rape, and a couple of foundations that are set up also to help with situations like this. I think MTV Sugar still has a name, but little by little, things like this will, because kids now they watch movies and
yeah,
conversation around sex movies, although most of these things are not trust things like conversation around sex and consent needs to be healthy, needs to be from a trusted source so people will not be misled.
yeah,
So
definitely
it's
so.
just finding like appropriate people to put give this responsibility to. And in this our Nigerian country country they tire me honestly, but step by step, small small.
Okay. Thank you
And
very much for your views, for your point of view. And we hope to have you more on my channel. I hope to have you more to actually speak on all these topics that we need to talk about more. I think it's very needed at certain times like the where people always see things like these as topics that we shouldn't talk about, and they get scared when people talk about it, or it becomes a very sensitive topic, and they feel avoiding it or just silencing it to actually help. Whereas it's not helping, it hasn't been helping for generations, and people have been talking and talking, and there have been more and more assaults every day. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure of being here. I enjoyed my time also.
Me too. I did too. I did enjoy my time. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Tell them to like and share and subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. And we have link in bio for if you want to follow Ivy on Instagram. We put our Instagram handle, our Twitter, and our Snapchat handle, so you can see and follow her. If you like her face, you can go and follow her. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.